Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warplanes. Today we're going to take a look at the Tier 9 German bomber. It is the Ju-287. But before we get into that, hey, I've got a new mic. Hopefully it's better than before. Everyone told me that this is a very good mic. It wasn't cheap, but the other one straight up died on me, and I wasn't going to deal with another super cheap microphone. So we've got a nice headset now. Um, and hopefully everything's going to go well. Um, but before we get too far into the review, the first things we need to mention are the history, I guess. I mean, there's probably something else I should talk about, but actually, before we do that, just a quick note. I might try doing something a little bit different than just reviews of specific planes pretty soon. As you can see, my lines are pretty much complete at this point. The American line, I got a couple days of premium recently and was able to purchase a bunch of the Tier 9s. I now own every single Tier 9 plane, non-premium and lower, in the game. I mean, I don't own them, but I owned them and played them at some point if they're non-premium. But I do have almost every Tier 5 non-premium and higher. Um, so yes, I do have a lot. Um, but as you can see, the American Tech Tree, getting very close to finishing it. I need a few more times threes, times five weekends, and I should be good. The only trick is, if you look at the Soviet line, I've got most of these researched, but I don't have the money to buy it. So uh, that's another thing. I've got 187 tokens, so very soon, I'm sure I'm going to purchase premium with the tokens. And once I get like enough time that I'll be able to dedicate to this game, um, I get distracted by a bunch of other games, especially recently. So I don't want to get distracted too much and start doing something like that. But when I don't have too much other games to do and I'll have time off from school and work and all that other stuff and able to just spend time to grinding credits, yeah, I will. So I do have a couple ideas for different types of videos. So do stay tuned for that. I know I haven't been posting super frequently, but school has now started, and ironically, means I'll get more time to record. Mostly because um, my siblings are at school during the day and I go in during the night, so I'll be able to record some videos beforehand, save them on a USB device, and then bring them to school to upload because you guys know my internet is horrible. So, but yeah, as you can see, I do have most, but I mean, the German tech tree is the tech tree that I don't have the tier 5s. But once I completed the German tech tree, I kind of started to go along the philosophy that I'm going to keep all my tier 5s and higher, regardless if I like them or not, because if they ever get changed or someone is very good in them and just beats me with them, I want to go back to the plane that they beat me in. That's just me. Japanese line I do have fully complete. The United Kingdom tech tree, working through the Seahawk. It's not a very fun plane, mostly because the guns don't really feel that much better and it doesn't really play like the rest of the line. But that is most everything. I guess the next thing after that is I'm going to start doing premium plane collections. But there's some of these planes I'd love to have just because they look so cool. But maybe someday if they go on discount or something, I'll pick them up. But anywho, let us now begin with the review. The first thing I would like to mention is the history. So if we go to Germany, and this isn't going to be strictly a JU-287 review. The reason being, the JU-287 and the EF-131 are play very, very, very similarly. If you know how to play the JU-287, you know how to play the EF-131. They're basically the same plane, just one is a different tier. They even look very similar, but anywho's. Wargaming says that this was a development of a high-speed jet bomber with a forward-swept wing was launched by the Junkers firm by the end of 1942. In August of 1944, an experimental Ju-287V1 took to the air, but only 3 prototypes were made before the end of the war. So, I mean, if we think about it, Germany was very experimental in their designs. They were the first to get a working jet plane into the sky, being the JU. At least the one that saw combat first was like the JU, or not JU, ME-262. Um, but they're like the first ones to realize that when you're going at those high speeds, you start to get dealing with supersonic or subsonic, just below subsonic speeds. Um, and as you start getting faster and faster with these jet engines and jet propulsion, you start to encounter forces that you didn't necessarily need to encounter um, when you weren't going that fast. And as a result, your plane becomes far less responsive. It's far more strenuous on the material and the aircraft itself when you're going at those high speeds. And Germany was the first ones to realize this. And as you can see, they were also the first ones to realize you can actually reduce the amount or delay the get to a higher speed before you start losing control by simply sweeping the wings backwards. I'm not very good at explaining why. I know it does that. I know what the effect is, but I don't know exactly how it is. So if you would like to see more on swept wing design and the theory of inversed swept wings, there's a channel on YouTube called Real Engineering. They have some really interesting stuff. I really like watching their stuff. But they have a video on inverted swept wing designs and the benefits and ultimately the failures of inverted swept wings. But I'll try to do a sort of summary. I just watched the video again so that it would be fresh in my mind. But essentially, Germany was like, you know, they were the first ones to realize that swept wing was good. But then there were still some issues with swept wing, and they found that if you reverse the swept wing, first of all, you're changing the center of mass when you're doing that. Instead of the center of mass being closer to the rear of the plane, the center of mass now becomes toward the front of the plane. And that actually allows you to do some pretty unique stuff, and it also allows you to get far more controllability with the plane. By changing that center of mass, and you're also changing how you're generating lift on the wings by doing this, and you're controlling when different parts of your plane are going to stall out and lose control. And overall, you gain a lot more controllability with the aircraft. But a downside of this stability is its incontrollability. It's a little bit confusing, but you make the plane able to carry more load. You're able to generate more lift, but at a consequence, you have to have a lot more control surfaces, and you're having to readjust those control surfaces a lot in order to maintain level flight, and to maintain control of the aircraft. Because if you start to lose control of the aircraft, then it doesn't matter how much maneuverability you're going to get. If you get stuck into an uncontrollable dive, well, the plane's destroyed. So having instability isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as you still maintain controllability. And inverted swept wings were very difficult. This technology was found by the Americans and the Russians when we invaded Nazi Germany. And we found this technology, and we were like, we didn't really think about it like this. Let's try it out. Let's see what can happen. But it was very difficult. The Soviets came up with their version of the Ju-287, which actually was the EF-131, according to the Real Engineering video. So this is actually the Soviet enhancements of the Ju-287 when it's in the German tech tree. So it's kind of unique. But it was very difficult to maintain that controllability, and it's also more strenuous on the materials. So because of the lack of strong materials and the lack of computers to assist in constantly changing those control surfaces to maintain control of the aircraft, it didn't really take effect until the mid 1970s, late 1980s, when America and Russia were still continuing to experiment with it. America came up with the X-29, and Soviet, I don't remember what Russia came up with, but they came up with their own version of it. And the X-29 was able to utilize composite materials, which were stronger than the traditional materials, and they were also able to implement advanced computers. So instead of the person having to constantly change the controls to maintain controllability, the computers would do it for you. But whenever you have to, there was too much of having, it was too unstable. It was too hard to maintain control over the aircraft that ultimately the benefits of the inverted swept wing did not outweigh the, the costs. So ultimately it was abandoned, and also by the late 1980s we were starting to put a heavy emphasis on stealth, and inverted swept wings just simply were too hard to gain stealth. It kind of went against it. You made yourself more obvious. So there were a couple different facts. If you want to know more about it, more like in a technical term, be sure to check out the video. I'll leave it in the description of this video. Please check out that link, or check up in the upper right of your screen with that little eye icon. Click on that and it should bring you to the video. So without further ado, that was kind of the history. So it was a very interesting experiment that Germany tried far before anyone else. But this plane, I think said there was only like 3 completed prototypes, and it wasn't highly tested. So yeah, anyway, that was kind of the history. Um, Now I would like to start talking about the statistics of this plane. I am very opinionated on these high tier bombers, and I will be sure to um, express those ideas soon. But I want to first go over the statistics in a very open-minded way. So if we take a look at our uh, graph that I came up with, I actually compared the Ju-287, Tu-12, so the Tier 9 bombers and the Tier 10 bombers, the EF-131 and the Su-10, for the sole reason that they're very similar, and I wanted to make a point later on in the video. So by doing this, I'm going to just compare them all. There's only 4 total aircraft at Tier 9 and 10, so it's not a huge deal. But let's first start off by saying none of these planes are particularly maneuverable except for the Tu-12. And we have kind of come to expect that, right? Because if you've gone through the Soviet line up to this point, you'll notice that Soviet bombers generally have pretty good maneuverability. Soviet bombers, think of them more as heavy fighters that put a focus on dropping bombs. Because it's putting less focus on killing other planes and a bigger focus on dropping bombs. But you have some other downsides that we'll see later on. The Su-10 is a departure from the rest of the line in terms of maneuverability. In fact, it's actually less maneuverable than the German counterparts, which is interesting to say the least. The next thing I want to bring your attention to is the airspeed. At Tier 9, the JU-287 and the TU-12 are almost identical. There's really not a whole lot of difference between them. In fact, even the SU-10 has very little increase in airspeed compared to the TU-12. It is faster and it's noticeable, but you're still not going to be breaking the sound barrier in a sense. You're still not going to be blitzing your way across the skies, right? And as a result, you'll have to see that other points counteract it. But the EF-131 is significantly faster and is very, very fast for the tier. And you couple that with another point that's later on, you guys probably see it already. The EF-131 is very strong. Um, but yeah, the airspeed, the JU-287 as well, it's got the same airspeed as the SU-10 at tier 10, but it's at tier 9, so that's very strong. Firepower wise, if we take a look at this, we'll notice that the German options have far less firepower, and that's mostly because you only get, I think, one gun on the JU-287, maybe two, um, and you get two guns on the EF-131. For your tail gunners only, you have no forward firing armament, so if you are facing these, it's better to attack them head on than from the behind. So that's important to note. However, the TU-12 and SU-10 have very impressive firepower. I mean, it doesn't look too impressive with the numbers, but if you're looking at it, you're more than doubling the firepower of the JU-287 on the TU-12, and you're more than doubling it on the SU-10 for the EF-131 as well. So you have very, very good guns on the SU-10. Um, unless the SU-10's already been weakened, going against Soviet bombers, tail gunners, can most certainly be a death sentence if you're not careful. Whereas the German ones take a bit longer to kill you. They'll still do it, don't get me wrong, but it'll take longer and it'll give you more time to take them out. Here's the next point though, altitude performance. So the German bombers are supposed to be high altitude bombers, and you'll see this in their stats. The Ju-287 has a rating of 93, which is very impressive. That's some of the highest in the tier. And the EF-131 has a perfect 100 rating. And if you've seen the tier 10 heavy fighter comparisons, there's only two planes in the game that have a perfect 100 rating. So, just that in and of itself shows that the plane is very difficult to counter. There's very few planes that can get up to the EF-131 and JU-287, and the ones that can often can't maintain their airspeed long enough to stay on the tails or even catch up to the EF-131 and JU-287. So, that's already a big red flag in my opinion because you have excellent airspeed and excellent altitude performance in these German bombers. The Soviet bombers, they're good. They're good. Like, you'll be okay. But the problem with the Soviet bombers is if you go up to those altitudes, your bombs are going to be garbage. The German ones, you can go at those altitudes and they'll be perfectly fine. So that's very important to note. The Soviet bombers have less airspeed and less altitude performance than the German ones. However, they do have more maneuverability. And in terms of survivability, nothing too crazy. They do have a lot of health, and the SU-10 definitely can take a punish before it goes down. It can take a pretty brutal beating before it's gonna get taken out of the sky. But the German ones are a bit more fragile, but the German bombers, even up to this point, they've always relied on their incredible altitude performance to save them rather than defensive turrets or their health. Um, and usually at the lower tiers, getting up to a German bomber, you're not really scared about dying. You're scared about stalling. And if you can keep your guns on target for even a second or two, you can take out German bombers pretty easily. That's not so much the case with the Ju-287 and the EF-131. Because of their incredible airspeed and their altitude performance, it's very difficult to get up to them. The only planes that'll take them out quickly are the heavy fighters, which makes them very difficult to kill. Ordnance capability, this one looks a little bit arbitrary. One thing you should note though is the Ju-287 and the EF-131 have the exact same rating, but other than that, you should notice that the Tu-12 has a smaller rating than the Ju-287 and the EF-131, whereas the Su-10 has a better rating. But we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So that's the hardcore stats, but I want to go over some stats that are not portrayed in just the raw numbers, but they're harder to portray on my screen simply because I have equipment and pilot skills that have changed the stats. So that's why I wanted to do those first. So the main thing you should notice is that the EF-131 has significantly better stats than the Ju-287. You have better altitude performance by a significant margin. You have better airspeed by a significant margin. Your tail gunner is better by a significant margin. And those are the three most important stats of these German bombers. They rely on that airspeed and the altitude performance to save them. And the EF-131 takes that to a whole new level. Um, but yeah, the next thing I really wanted to bring to your attention is the amount of bombs that these planes have. The Ju-287 has 4 1,000 something bombs. Are they kilogram? I don't know. They're SC-1000 bombs. So I don't know if it's pounds or kilograms or tons, 1,000 tons. Yeah, that'd be one heck of a bomb. But the EF-131, exact same bombs. Same number of bombs, exact same bombs. So that's also very important to know. So EF-131, Ju-287, same bomb number, same damage. They're the same bombs. So that's not increasing when you're going in tier. But everything else about the plane is, and it's not just a slight increase either, it's a significant increase. The Tu-12, we're looking at also only 4 bombs, but they're half the size of the German bombs, but they do 7,000 damage, which is pretty good. If we take a look at the German bombers again, these German bomber bombs are the biggest bombs in the game, by the way. The only plane that has a bomb comparable to them is the F-2G Super Corsair. The F-2G has a 1,600 pound bomb, so these are definitely not pounds. It must be kilograms, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. But the Super Corsair is in the middle here, and you can see that they are... The German bomber has 4 of the F-2G bombs, basically, but they're better bombs, and you get 4 of them rather than 1 on the Corsair. So keep that in mind. That is ridiculous. I should not have just gotten rid of all those. That was a big mistake. I need to stop doing that. But yeah, let's pull up the bombs again. I don't care about the F-2G bomb anymore. That was just to make a point that you get 4 better than the F-2G bombs on these bombers. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane. Because if you've played the F-2G, you'll know that that bomb destroys anything. And I mean anything. without problem. It's just drop that bomb and you take it out. SU-10, I think it's the exact same bombs as the Tu-12. However, there is a difference between the Tu-12 and the Su-10. And if you've noticed, okay, they're the exact same bombs, so they're not any better either. So when you're going up from tiers, you're not getting better bombs, but you're getting better everything else. And significantly so. But anyway, the Tu-12 gets 4 of these bombs, whereas the Su-10 gets 8 of those bombs. Granted, they kind of suck, but another side point, on the Tu-12, it only takes 35 seconds to reload them, which makes them pretty decent. This Tu-12 and basically any plane before the Tu-12, it's very ideal, I would say, for you to stay low altitude. And in some cases, in fact, most cases, you would want to stay below your optimal bombing distance. You are going to be basically a higher altitude GA, but you're basically down by the GA level. And you drop the trick with the Tu-12 is you get in there, you drop your bombs very quickly. They resupply super fast. If you had pilot skills, or if you were specialized, you can get that reload time even further down. I think it's by like what 10%. So you get down to like 32 seconds. That's insane. So that's really good. If you compare that to the German bombers, both of the German... No, actually, I take that back. No, I think it's the same. The German bomber stock... No, that's wrong. Let's reload it. There is no way that's accurate. Please tell me that's not accurate. Oh, no. What have they done? I thought these bombs reloaded in 60 seconds. I was wrong. The way I have it set up, they reload in 38 seconds. Oh no. Oh no. That means you are getting bombs. I mean, look at the difference between the bombs. Just look at them. Look at the difference between the Su-10 and Tu-12 bombs compared to the German bomber bombs. It is significantly better. If you're getting an extra 100 feet blast radius. That's ridiculous. You are getting 3,000 damage more. That's insane. Because you're getting 3,000 damage more, and you can spread it over a greater distance. If you're off target by a little bit, it doesn't matter. The blast radius is still going to put that damage on target. And that's why these high-tier German bombers are stupid. Oh, now you heard my opinion. These bombers are broken as heck. They are horribly broken. Horribly broken. 38 seconds for that? That is unbelievable. If we take a look at the EF-131, what's the reload on the 50 seconds? Let me check something real quick. I'm going to go onto the World of Warplanes website and see what the actual reload of the bombs and rockets are. Please tell me it has it on here. I don't think it has it on here. Nope. I don't know what the stock version is on the JU-287. It might be 50 seconds. It might be. But let's just compare it for a second to the Su-10. 70 seconds, okay? That 70 seconds is brutal. Yeah, you get 8 bombs, but they suck. If you're off target by even a little bit, they're useless. You will so frequently go over a target, and number one, not need all 8 bombs, so you have to reload early, and so you have a really long reload. And secondly, they don't always hit target, and if they're not dead on target, you've wasted your bombs. You're sitting still for so long. Granted, if anything wants to come on your tail, they're just gonna die. But that's beside the point. Like, oh, this is making me disgusted. Just looking through these stats. If you play a Soviet bomber over the German bomber, you are insane. These German bombers trash these Soviet bombers. These Soviet bombers are useless comparatively. And the main reason being, they don't have altitude and they don't have the airspeed. And their bombs are weaker. The three most important things about bombers, you know? Yes, you have crazy tail gunners, but who cares? If you can't flip a sector, what's the point in flying it? I mean, granted, if it's specialized, you'll get that 25% reduction, so you get it under a minute, but like, that doesn't excuse it. I can get the reload of the JU-287 down to 38 seconds, whereas the stock reload on the TU-12 is 35 seconds. That means you're getting 4 bombs that are weaker than the EF-130. You get the same amount of bombs, but they're weaker, and you only get to reload them 3 seconds faster compared to a specialized one. I mean, if this was specialized too, you'd never have to worry about reloading your bombs. Basically, they'd reload so fast. But these bombs, you go over a target once and then you flip the sector. If you know what you're doing, you drop your 4 bombs, you flip the sector, and you go. And by the time you get to another sector, you're able to drop your bombs again. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you couple those ridiculous bombs with the power of being so high in the sky that nothing's going to get up to you. And if they do, they don't have the airspeed at that altitude to keep up with you. It is mentally insanity. These planes are broken beyond belief. I know we always complained about the RB-17 and the A-26B, and we complained about GA being broken. Well, they nerfed GA. I don't know if you guys got the note, but GA are not as powerful as they used to be. And with these bombers, if you have a specialized EF-131 versus a P-1102B, if the skill is the exact same, the F-131 is going to win every single time, I guarantee you. The 1102B does not have the capabilities that the EF-131 does. The EF-131 is a Tier 12 plane sitting at Tier 10. I am not kidding. Not Tier 11. No, no, no. It is Tier 12. You make it specialized, you are untouchable. And it is so unbelievably broken. So unbelievably broken. Alright, sorry about the cut, guys. But we had a little bit of a... I had to run and do something quickly in between the recordings. So, I'm back now. You kind of heard most of my opinion at this point. But now we're just going to go over the rest of the stuff. Let's start out with pilot skills, because it probably won't take as long. My JU-287 has 7 pilot skills, which is pretty good. The first skill you definitely want to go for is Demolition Expert. The second one, because this will increase the damage caused by bombs and their blast radius by 10%, so that's really significant. The next one you want to do is probably Engine Guru, just to increase the speed, because this plane's already super fast. I have 3 other skills. I should reset it and do something different. If I was going to do anything different, it'd probably be Engine Guru 2 and Cruise Flight, because you increase your speed even more. Although Resilience is also a very useful skill. It just is, so you might want to go for that one. For the gunner, you definitely want to go for this one as quickly as possible. Increases the range of fire of the turret by 10%. On this plane, it's kind of broken, so go ahead and do that. The other one you'd want to probably go for is Defensive Fire. It reduces the damage taken by planes shooting at you if your tail gunner is shooting at them, which is pretty huge. The equipment layout on this plane is the exact same as the EF-131, so if you want to use the same equipment layout on the EF-131, you are good to go. However, my JU-287 is specialized, so it's a lot easier to show you my setup than it is on the EF-131. So for the cockpit one, I went with the ultimate cockpit armor because, let's see, what are the other options? Crew resistance to injuries, increased aircraft maneuverability at high speeds. Actually, that one probably would be pretty decent on this plane, but because you're going super fast. But whatever. Firing accuracy, you don't have any forward firing guns, so it's not really that useful. And your tail gunners hit all the time anyway, so no. Increased visibility and decreased range at which the aircraft is detected by enemy aircraft. That can be useful, but whatever you want. Kind of would work for that one. High speed gas turbine, and I also went with, what's this one? Upgraded engine. Okay, so yeah, the engine's definitely the first one you want to go for. Increased airspeed. High turbine. This is also engine cooldown rate, so that's always good. Get your boost back quickly. Acceleration with boost active and max speed with boost active. That's very useful. You lose some boost availability, but you have 60 seconds to start off with, so sacrificing some of it for others is just useful. Aircraft maneuverability is definitely not that useful. Engine's resistance to damage, you sacrifice your speed for it, so don't really go for that one. I went with Special Project of USA, which increases the firing range of the gun sight, which is good. Um, it also does increased critical damage and increased damage, which is also pretty useful. Um, but yeah, if you have a regular one, that's fine, but this one, the range on the tail gunner is insane, so I wanted to increase it even further. So yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then you definitely want to try to go for this. It's only available for specialization, but you definitely want to get it. It increases the bomb reload speed and the rocket reload speed, but rocket reload speed isn't going to help you any. You're really doing it for the bomb reload speed. If you specialize it, you could increase the bomb reload speed by 21%. I should definitely do that. In fact, how much does it take? 33,000 credits. Alright, I will see you guys back in a bit. I'm going to fully calibrate this before going into battle. Alright guys, I am back again, and this time we are fully specialized with every equipment module. I used up basically all the materials I had, all the mechanical bits, and all of my credits, but I'm going to be able to prove a point, and that is the point of it. I have never flown this plane fully specialized, so let's give it a whirl and see what we can do. This will be the first battle where I am specialized with ultimate equipment and calibrated. I've played it mostly just before with specialization and all ultimate equipment, so this will be kind of new for both of us, or for all of us. This plane is ridiculously broken. Even when I didn't have it fully calibrated, it was ridiculous. I've always been against calibration. It's ultra expensive. It's kind of annoying, but I will say this. I've been looking into it recently. If you mouse over the bar when you're calibrating, it'll tell you the maximum positive effect increase, and usually it's like a 25% increase just by calibrating it. So it's almost on your favorite planes, you really do want to not just get ultimate equipment and not only reassemble it to get the bonuses that you want. You also want to fully calibrate it because calibration is ridiculously broken. Uh, it really is like going up another 2 tiers above ultimate when you fully calibrate it. So it's kind of crazy. Alright, we're going into battle, so let's see what we can do. After this, I can show you guys a 20k game, but honestly, I might get a 20k game just with this plane right here, right now. And if I do, I won't show the other replay because it's really old. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. It's a mining plant map. We have human flying 4. He's really good. And Commander Rad Op. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I feel really gross right now playing this plane in the state that it's in. If I see another guy flying this plane specialized or a specialized EF-131, or if they're in a flight, quite honestly, I just leave the battle because there's literally nothing you can do. This plane will win you games. Those guys on the enemy team are pretty good players. I'm going to say it right now, we're not going to lose. I will promise you that. This is not going to be a loss. There's no way. I could go for the command center, but I'm going to go for the factory instead because the factory is significantly better. Alright, so right off the bat, I'm looking at, we have about 48 seconds, so we lost 12 seconds of boost from what we originally had, but as you can see, this plane's significantly faster. We're going to go over to this garrison. When you drop your bombs, try to stay at the maximum level that you can possibly be and still be in the white zone. And then go into your gunner mode early, hold the brake, make it easier on yourself to get those bombs on target. We'll wait for that crosshair right in the middle. The blast radius is going to take that one out, I guarantee you. And now let's test out our tail gunner. I'm just curious, what's the maximum range on this thing? I don't know. But as you can see, the tail gunner is kind of crazy. Oh, I forgot to look. I don't know how much our bombs, or how much time it takes for our bombs to reload, but I increased it by 8% by specializing it, so yeah, this plane's ridiculous. Alright, we're coming over here. Let's line up a run. These two right here are very important, so I'm going to get these two. Each of these will give me 50 points, so that's 100 points right there. And then the middle is going to give me 80, so I'm going to drop 2 bombs on the middle. I'm going to bring it closer to the smokestack, make sure that bomb destroys those smokestacks, and drop one on the R1, and we should finish that one off just fine. When I'm waiting for my bombs to reload, I'm going to gain altitude, because why not? Like, gaining altitude when you're reloading makes you less susceptible to damage. If you're not dropping bombs, there's no reason not to be at altitude. So that is very important. We're going to come back down though, our bombs are almost reloaded. Before I've even gotten over to this sector, our bombs are basically reloaded. We're going to take out this sector right here. 1, 2, we have to drop some on this egg mount. And then we're doing our flip around. Although I probably should just reloaded the bomb, because by the time I turn around, the bombs would probably have been reloaded anyway. And we're just going to drop one there. And call it a day. We got a couple guys on our tail. No big deal. We'll hit them at ridiculous range. And we're just leaving him in the dust. He can't do anything about it. But let's see how far away this range is. 4,000 feet, yeah. That's not broken. And as you can see, we almost have supremacy already, but it doesn't surprise me. This plane's kind of ridiculous. I didn't have to do anything. I just drop bombs, and then once I turn around and I'm ready again, the bombs are already reloaded, and I drop them again, and then we win. Like, that's the strategy of this plane. It's just unfair. And it's why I just quit the game if I see a specialized EF-131 or really any high tier bomber, because it's just, there's literally nothing you can do. And what is this 1056 gonna do to me? He's supposed to be the counter to me. This 1056, he's supposed to be the one that can take me out. What is he supposed to do? He can't do anything, and he can't even escape me very well because I have 4,000 foot range on my tail gunner. telling you, this plane is not fair. We're gonna drop a bomb here. Oh, they took the plant. That's good job, guys. I'm gonna drop one there because it's already taken some damage. We're gonna come over here. As you can see, I'm literally not concerned about them taking the plant. I can just go over and flip it again. We're gonna flip this command center here in just a second. Once those bombs hit target, we'll have that. We'll have the command center. Oh, you took me out. Nice job, buddy. Really, I don't care what they have. We already have a significant lead. I'm just gonna go over and take the plant. We actually did not take the command center. We got really close though. We're at 10,500 personal points already. There's nothing they can do. We're gonna go over to the mining plant. By the time I get there, my bombs will be reloaded. So, but as you can see, I haven't even needed to use my engine cooling because I've just had enough boost the entire time. It's ridiculous. They almost have the command center. I bet our P-80 is going to get it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. The main thing is I just don't want them to get the bonus from their mining plant. But that's more important than the bombers, in my opinion. Well, we got the command center. That's good. That J7 is way too high of altitude than what he's supposed to be at, but it is what it is. I'm going to drop 2 bombs on this place right here. We're going to slow down so that way I can get my bombs on target to the middle. Drop 2 bombs there, and that should flip it. We should have the plant after that. There's 50. There's 80. Oh, we need 10 more points. That's okay. Just gotta wait 20 seconds and we'll have our bombs back again. This plane's just stupid. Alright, I'll use my engine cooling right now, because why not? I'm just gonna make sure I'm not gonna use boost while it's on the cooldown. Oh, we didn't destroy that spot. Oh well, just drop a bomb there and call it good. There we go. Hero of the sky. Literally no trying at all. I'm gonna come over and take this garrison. Squall lane's almost here, not worry about it. We're gonna drop a bomb on this to get our the reason I want to drop it on that one is because we get more sections of ground targets destroyed, which will give us more points for specialization or Hero of the Sky, which we already have Hero of the Sky, but still, that's the only one we don't have. So let's see if we can max it out for this match. Just gotta wait a couple seconds for our bombs to reload. I'm gonna flip around and prepare my bombing run, because by the time I flip around, the bombs will be reloaded. We're going to hold brakes. We're going to prepare our bombing run. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crap. Not quite fast enough, but that's okay. I'll just flip around and flip it. And then you can flip around quicker if you go out of your bomber mode. So that's what we're going to do here. We got air defense on our tail. Literally not concerned. I'm going to drop bomb there. And a bomb there. And that should flip it. Look at that. We ended in supremacy. Oh gosh. There you go. That's... Oh, we got the Doolittle medal. Woo! I'm so excited. That wasn't hard. I didn't have to try at all. With that kind of score, is it even worth it for me to pull up a battle? Actually, I don't think it is, because the replay that I had was actually in a special event anyway. It was during attrition. But what's the point of bringing up that battle if I just got 18,000 or personal points for literally doing nothing? We ended in supremacy. There was nothing they could do. There was nothing they could do. Absolutely nothing. We up tiered them. We were specialized. By the time we got to the sector we needed to be at, we already had our bombs reloaded. This plane is the definition of broken. Um, yeah, if I get anything less than 15,000 personal points, I've failed. Like honestly, less than 15,000 personal points is either um, you disconnected, you got supremacy, you were drunk, or yeah, that's the only way. it it doesn't matter what players on the enemy or on the enemy team. You drop your four bombs. You if you know where you're to drop your bombs, you just flip anything you want. That factory, I knew that if you hit the 250s, which are the ones that have no soft targets, and you hit that middle section, you get 80 points for that. That's a total of 50, 100, 180 points. That's enough to flip the factory. Um, so in one bomb run, you flip the factory in a matter of 5 seconds. Um, yeah, and I mean, man, I'm happy that you think I did a good game, but I didn't. Like, this is average for me in this plane. Uh, this plane is the definition of broken. So, this is definitely a different review. Do I think you should get it? Now, this is going to be controversial. Obviously, it's a good plane, so you want to get it. But if I see you flying it, you better believe I'm not going to fight you in it. I'm just going to leave. Either I'm going to get an airfield and switch into mine myself and beat you anyway, or I'm just going to leave the match because there's no point in fighting the losing battle from the start. You don't get any materials. I'm going to lose anyway, so my win rate's going to go down. I don't usually care about win rate, but like, if it's going to be a guaranteed loss, I have no desire to fight it. So, do I recommend this plane? If you want to be a scumbag, yeah. Yeah, you can play this plane. Um, but if I see you flying it, you better believe I'm not fighting you in it. So, yeah, that's about it for the JU-287. Same thing with the EF-131. The only thing with the EF-131 is what you saw me do in the JU-287 is on steroids with this plane. All your stats are better. You're faster, your altitude is better, your bombs are not the same, but they reload faster. Your tail gunner's better, your survivability is better, your maneuverability is basically the same. But then if you put those percentage increases on, you're just much more better than the JU-287. So if I see you flying a specialized EF-131, I'm not fighting you. If I see you flying a JU-287, I'm not fighting you. If I see you using a specialized Tu-12, yeah, I'll fight you because this plane is not overpowered. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I've had 20k games in it. I've had pretty significant rounds in it. It's a fun plane. This Tu-12 is very fun, but it's not overpowered. If I see you flying a specialized SU-10, it depends. If I know you're not super great, I'll fight you. If you're a good player, I won't fight you because this tail gunner will kill anything. There's nothing. There's nothing in the game that can come up to you and take you out before you take them out if you play your cards right. So the SU-10 has no problem of surviving. Um, but it's not invulnerable like the EF-131. And I don't think the bombs are as impressive. If I see you flying an SU-10 specialized, I'll fight you. This is definitely a very good plane at tier 10, but I don't think it's quite as broken. The tail gunner is. The tail gunner is outrageous, but your altitude ceiling is smaller. Your bombs reload way longer. Yeah, you have twice as many bombs, but they're just garbage bombs. So, I'll fight you in a specialized SU-10, not an EF-131. So yes, this was a very different review, guys, but Sorry about the rant, but this plane is ridiculous, and I just worry that the high-tier American bombers are going to be just as broken. um, I guess what I need to do to end this video is talk about what I would do to balance the EF-131 and JU-287. Now that's a hard question because during the whole line, the speciality of these planes are their high altitude, but they're not super fast. If you have a heavy fighter, you can get up to this guy and take him out pretty easy. Same with any of these planes. They've got very good altitude performance, don't get me wrong. Tier for tier, it's some of the best in the game. But if you want your bombs to be accurate, you're not going to be that high, and heavy fighters can come up to you. Your tail gunner really isn't that great. So I guess if I was going to balance this plane, the first thing I would do is maybe take away two of the bombs, reduce the bomb capacity significantly because they're such good bombs, but increase the reload time. So maybe having a 20-second reload for two bombs seems pretty legit because these are very, very, very powerful bombs, and you'll still have a very, very good impact. If you take away two bombs and reduce the reload speed down to 20 seconds, I think that's okay because as is, you have four bombs and you can get to sectors. By the time you get to another sector, your bomb's already reloaded. So if you reduce the amount of bombs you have, you're forcibly reducing the amount of damage they can do per pass, and you're forcing them to wait on their reload. Whereas if you know what you're doing with the four bombs, you can flip a sector with no problem, as long as no other planes die over it. But that seems a little bit broken to me. Within like 5 seconds, you can flip a sector. So forcing you down to only two bombs would alleviate some of that. You would forcibly make the players reload their bombs while they're over a sector. They cannot take a sector in just one pass. And I think that would help. Alternatively, if they don't want to do that, I would nuke their airspeed because they have really good altitude performance. So kill their airspeed. Just like these ones, they have really good altitude performance, but their airspeed is good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not top of the tier. This is top tier airspeed. So, like if we take a look at the XF90, how much airspeed does that thing have? I mean, it does have a lot. It does look like a lot more. And the XF90 can get up to you, but I mean, your tail gunner is gonna hit him 2,000 feet before he can start shooting at you. And if you know what you're doing, you're going to make it very difficult. So personally, I would cut the airspeed down by a fairly significant margin to make yourself more vulnerable to those heavy fighters. I really wouldn't change the altitude performance because during the whole line, they relied on their altitude performance to save them. That was their biggest defense. Their tail gunner was not their biggest defense. And in either way of balancing it, whether you're reducing the airspeed or reducing the amount of bombs it can carry per salvo, in either of those balancing acts, I would probably change the tail gunner. The tail gunner is a little bit ridiculous. Maybe keep it the same strength, but reduce the range of fire by about 50%. Because getting up to 4,000, and this one's probably get up to about 4,500 feet on the tail gunner, seems a little excessive to me. Um, it just seems a little broken, but that's what it is. And I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I know it was kind of ranty, but um, yeah, yeah. This review is gonna kill me. I don't like these planes are so good. Like this JU-287, I don't care if I'm in a tier 10 battle. I'm still gonna beat anyone I face, whether they're in a flight and they target me or not. I'm still gonna beat them. Like it's just it's not fun. I don't. It's so fun that it's not fun. If you know what I mean. And I can only imagine what the F-131's like. Um, but I guess arguably, arguably you have to spend so much time to get specialization. It took me probably about 150 battles to get the JU-287 specialized. So in that regard, you have to spend a lot of time flying the plane before you um, are specialized. But I don't think that's a very fair way of making specialization reward for the people that just play the plane a lot. I don't know. Unless you want to spend tokens, like I could spend 130 tokens and complete it right now, but all right, well, I've ranted way long, way long. I need to get to editing this video. Um, but if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to let me know. Do you guys think this plane deserves to be in the game, or how would you rebalance this plane? Because don't even try telling me it's not overpowered, because it is. Most planes I can be like, yeah, it's a very good plane, and it's gonna be, but I can still lose in it. This plane, I don't care what the map is, I will win every time. Like, if I see a flight on the enemy team being scumbags and playing the best of the best planes, I'll bring out this plane and beat them every time. There's just no question. This plane is the definition of overpowered. Um, but it takes overpowered to a whole new level. Like if you compare overpowered planes to this plane looks like it's makes the other ones not overpowered. It's so stupid. But yeah, I've ranted long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments, and I will catch you guys next time.